All right, here we go.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the Reyes Reflection Podcast. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to the show and show your boy some love. Follow me on all the social medias, Instagram, TikTok, at I'm Nathanael Reyes. Now, we are back with another thrilling episode. And I'm a man of ideas, okay? And I think I have a lot of good ones. And I won't get into them, but this one might be my worst one. And I'll explain why, okay? Even the smartest people in the world have some pretty bad ideas. For example, spam emails. Whoever did that should just die. I mean, they suck. We've all purchased something, especially around this time of the year. We're filming this around Christmas time, where you can't afford it, but you buy it anyways. So that's a bad idea. But these all pale in comparison to the next idea I have, which is inviting my next guest to the Reyes Reflection Podcast. So without further ado, please welcome my friend and now friend of the show, Mr. Dalton Quinn, making his debut. Thank you for coming on.
Thank you for having me, man. Thank you.
Of course, of course. So what's going on? What's new? I know we're catching up. We were trying to do something earlier, but our
Yeah,
schedules are so busy.
yeah, just getting busy with the season. Like I'm still in school. I just actually finished my second degree in grad school, so I'm just wrapping that up right now. Besides that, man, I just been in college playing baseball, and sadly, as if anyone follows me on Instagram or Twitter, all that, you saw that I made the farewell post to baseball because it was time because I got accepted into the Rhode Island Police Academy. So I needed to do what I needed to do, and I needed to make the probably the biggest decision I'll ever make in my life, and that was to get my life going, and that's what was best for me at this time. And I thought I've done everything I could to baseball. I've done everything I could in school. I've given the game so much love. It's given it back to me. I don't know where I would be without baseball today, and I'm grateful for the opportunities it brought me. And I think the police academy was an opportunity brought to me from how I present myself, and how I learned that was from on the baseball field and off the baseball field. So that's really it, man. I just a lot of schoolwork in grad school. Like I won't BS that. Besides that, man, just having fun and getting ready for the academy.
Yeah, trying your best to wrap up those closing moments is always hard, especially
Yeah,
when you know. And it's unfortunate. We love the sports that sometimes don't love us back as much. And for me, I've had so many injuries. I know when the time was for me to stop playing, it really was one of those emotional moments.
yeah.
We were talking off camera. You cut off your entire your all your hair, your luscious locks.
Yeah, I had nice flow. I had the curls, and it's ever since the academy. So, funny story actually. So, we had orientation for the academy. I didn't get a haircut. I still had my hair. I still had a beard, a nice grizzly beard for No Shave November. And when I tell you I got ripped into for that, I got ripped into it for it. Like I got the nickname Fabio within 30 seconds of being there. And we haven't even started the academy yet. And they say it's like negative day 5. And I'm already getting like chirped for this. And I was like, oh man, here we go. And I was like sitting there taking it all in. Then 2 days later, I went to the barbershop. I said, we need to get it going, dude. So I went, I got a high fade, and then I got just a nice little comb over, light little comb over. But then once we had PT in 2 weeks, so our hair needs to be at a 0. And I went to the barbershop and I was like, man, I need to bring it down a little bit. And I got a high and tight. And this is long right now. I'm grateful for all this hair I have right now because a couple of weeks ago I was bald.
Oh my goodness, dude! So you were really bald for a little bit,
Yeah,
yeah.
I was bald for a solid week and a half. This has only been like 2 weeks, but this is gonna have to go in like 6 weeks. It's got to go, so I'll enjoy it for now.
Yeah, right, right, right. It stinks, man. Like I'm in the process of trying to grow my hair back out. I love long hair. I love
Oh,
my long hair. So I don't know. For you, it must have been like oh damn, like it's all gone. I can't believe I
yeah, I
shaved it
was
all
like, it
off.
came up in my head, and I was like, oh no, like that's a staple, man. Like I always had long hair most of my life, and like through high school I had like short hair. But then once I got to college, I was like, oh, it's time to like grow my hair again. So I started doing that. I grew my hair for every year, and then I'd cut it once a year, and then I just grow it out again. So like having short hair is like new to me again.
Yeah, no, most definitely, most definitely. So I want to circle back to the baseball. When did you start playing baseball? I mean, you said it was your whole life. You always fell in love with it. When for you was it like, hey, this is the game that I'm going to choose? Because you also played ball for a little bit, basketball too,
Yeah.
volleyball. I know you were just an overall athlete. But when did you kind of make that transition into, hey, I'm just gonna play baseball?
So I started playing baseball around the age of 2 or 3, I would say, like getting into it. Like I started picking up a baseball with my father in the backyard. We started throwing it, and like I enjoyed it. So like that's what I grew up around. So growing up, when I got into t-ball, I was always like a bigger kid. So like I was like just like a little more heftier. So like I was a little more of a threat as a younger kid because I was an early developer. I got it down wicked quick. So like usually it's like T-ball, then you go to like the pitching machines with the league. And now I didn't do that. I went straight over that and I went straight to like junior farm as they call it, and straight to pitching. These were kids that were like 9, 10, and I was only like 7. So that was like a wrap for me, and I was like, oh man, this is different. And so then when I started becoming more familiar with the sport, I wanted to try new things. So when I was in about 5th grade, I went to Pop Warner, and I loved it. But then that's when I like was chunky. That's when I was a big kid growing up. Like I was hefty. And so then that's when I played the offensive line and I was a center. And I loved it. Like that's what like I think got my competitive edge or competitive nature, I would say. Like that grind mentality at a young age. Like football was like I stepped on the field for the first time. And I didn't know what to expect in football. My dad was like, you'll be fine. Like, just go do it. Have us running laps and I was dying. I was breathing and gasping for air at the age of like 10. It's like, oh my God, man. So I think just going around and like playing all these other sports was like such a benefit to me. Like, cause I got to understand the world of like football. I got to understand the world of basketball. I got to understand the world of volleyball in middle school. As you know, like playing in middle school, like I played all the sports.
Yep.
But once I got to high school, I'd say like my sophomore year, I like was like, this is like really what's going to be for me, I think. I mean, I was an athlete, but I didn't put as much time into other sports as I did baseball.
Mm-hmm.
I did it to stay fit because I was an athlete, and I figured if you're an athlete, you should be able to do it.
Right.
So with that, I was like, all right, I need to make a decision here. I was like, all right, I'm not going to play football anymore. And I just stuck to baseball, and I lifted for baseball. I trained baseball year in, year out. I'd play in fall leagues. I'd play in winter leagues all the way up to this high school season. And that's when I really like started to click. I was like, this is something like I could do, like to continue my career into college. And I was like, all right, time to buckle down and get to going. And like, that's what I did, man. It's just like growing up, I wanted to play all sports I could.
Yeah.
I feel like as a young kid, like for anybody out there with kids, like get your kid into sports. Like, even if they don't like it, have them try it. There's so many sports in the world that your kid can try. And that's where you're gonna find out like what they like, or they're gonna figure out what they like. And when you see that, they're gonna start to understand that it's a team thing. That's when you start to make friends. That's when you learn teams, and that's when you learn like leadership, and that's when you like make the closest friendships in the world. Because I'm still talking to kids when I was playing baseball from 7, and I'm 24 now, and I'm still talking to them. And like that's like the greatest thing sports can bring to you is like the friends and the people you meet and the connections you're gonna make throughout the years.
The camaraderie, yeah. That's really good advice because I think sports is just a huge way of connecting people. I've read something that said sports and music are the two things that can connect anyone from any background, and you can all kind of do it. And going into the sports, I agree with that, and all ages too. People who are 70 love baseball. People who are 5 love baseball, and everyone, and all sports too. So I definitely agree with that sentiment. I do want to say this for the visual audience, you'll see he's not as hefty as he once was. As he's saying that he's thinned out. He has a lot of muscles.
Yeah, I've thinned out over the years. So like I think I started to thin out in like 7th grade. That's when I like was like, all right, we're gonna switch. So I started playing quarterback, and then that's when like I really enjoyed it. Never got hit. I don't mind getting hit in practice. Like it would happen sometimes, but like as a QB, you love that lifestyle.
Yeah.
It says. But like, yeah, I started to thin out in like 7th grade, I would say. That's when I started to like really lift, and that's when I had a growth spurt. I think I went from like 5'6" to like 5'10".
Yeah.
And then I started to thin out, and then when I thinned out, I was like, damn, I'm too thin. So I was like, all right, let's start reading into bodybuilding. That's when I got into lifting. That's how it all happened for me.
What's your workout routine?
So right now I'm doing a bodybuilder split, but I'm also training for the academy. So I need to build up my endurance a lot more than what it is. So like right now I'm doing the simple, as you call it, bro split. So it's just like my Monday is a chest day. And then Tuesdays, legs. So I try to focus more on the explosiveness now with legs. I want to have strong legs, but I want to have like endurance legs. Like I want to be able to push through something when I need to, instead of like lifting heavy weight, slowing my muscle fibers or muscle twitch down, as they would say. So I'm doing a lot more explosive, like jumps, a lot more lighter squats, but fast squats and more reps. And then tomorrow, Wednesday, will be a back by. And then Thursday is a cross training where it's all like conditioning. So whatever you can think, hills, ropes, ladders, bear crawls, army crawls, burpees, whatever it is. And then Friday is kind of just an arm day. Friday arm day, farm day, as I call it. It's always a good day to get a nice arm pump before the weekend. And then mainly on the weekends, I run. I'm not a runner. I am not a runner. I just started running 2 weeks ago to get ready for this academy because I'm going to be running like 3 to 5 miles a day there. Yeah. So I just started doing it, and like I'm trying to build up my endurance with it. I'm only doing like, right now I run like for 25 minutes straight, but I do like 2 minutes on, 1 minute walk, and then back to it. And then like the next day I'll try to go 3 minutes. So just kind of like, it's a little different. Most of the time, like when I was like an athlete, I would have upper, lower conditioning, upper, lower arms, and then Sunday off. 6 days a week I would do it. But now with the regimen of going to the academy, I had to switch it all up, which was a little different to me. Like I'm not pushing as much weight as I want to in my program. I'm more doing explosive, like I said, which is, it's nice. I don't mind it. Helps me with fast twitch. It's going to help me with push-ups and sit-ups and all that. But if it was up to me, I would love to work out like a bodybuilder now.
Yeah.
Like now that my college career is over, I think like the point of being strong would be like awesome. And like it's a grind, but that's really my split now. Like it's a lot different than what it would be. Yep. But I still enjoy it, man. Like working out is like, people get the runner high, I get the lifting high. Like that endurance and that feeling towards it.
I love it. I'm the same way, dude. When I hit the gym, so I work out like 5-6 times a week, depending on my schedule. So if I'm doing something super busy, it's only five days. But nonetheless, I totally agree more. I couldn't agree with you more. It's one of those things when you lift, after a good lift, you're like, hell yeah, dude. Like,
oh, yeah. You get the pump and like you love that feeling of like, or like when you go in, you hit a new PR.
Yeah.
And it's like I did that. Like that's crazy. Like I'll never forget the first day I benched 225. Never forget it. It was the greatest feeling in the world. Like just throwing, they call them 2 biscuits, and like threw 2 biscuits on there, hit 225, and I went nuts. Cause like that's like a staple. That's like now you switch up your workout program to work out for 225, or the first time I squat 315. Like you're switching your workout now and your numbers to the new numbers. And the goal is to always do better, which was like the thing I loved. Like going in there, wanted to do better, wanted to hit a new PR. And like being frustrated was the hardest part, man. Like there's days where you go in the gym, and I'm pretty sure you've had those days where you're squatting 275 for like 5 with ease. And then one day you can't even get it for 3. Cause like, and it's like, what? And like those setbacks, you're like, it's not a setback. It's just one of those off days at the gym. Like I can still be locked in the whole time, but I can't let that one thing mess it up. Like it's just an off day on that lift.
I had it yesterday. Yesterday I worked out and I was like, damn, that was not a good workout. Like I was pissed. I was like, yeah. Man, what the hell? And so, no, I totally get it. Totally understand. Yep. You said you wish that you could train to be a bodybuilder.
Yeah.
And I'm hearing you talk. A lot of the dialogue you're using is a lot of like muscles and things like that. Is this your background? Is it in sports science, education?
No, actually. No? So I got my undergrad in economics and finance. So I found lifting to be interesting just on my own.
Oh, okay.
So just watching it and like and all stuff. Like, don't get me wrong, I would love to work out, like, but I don't want to. Like, I'm not like I don't like to use. I will never use steroids, man. I couldn't do it. Like, I just couldn't get that mentality to do it. And like, nothing wrong with it. If you're a bodybuilder and you look at the generation and how it is today, you want to be a bodybuilder, you need to use steroids. You need to use some type of form of a steroid.
Okay.
Because like you see all these guys on stage, man. You're not 300 pounds of purely muscle with 5% body fat. That's impossible. It's highly impossible, man. Like, so I give kudos to everybody. Like, my favorite bodybuilder is Chris Bumstead, man. Like, the Olympia's coming up. I'm going to watch it. Hopefully it goes for a 4-peat. I know Chris Bumstead doesn't watch this, but if you are, go for the 4-peat, Chris Bumstead. So it's just like, I always found interest in it. So like, I wanted to really like learn more about it, like on my own.
Yeah.
So with that, like I just started reading up on it, like helping my knowledge to it. So when I go to the gym, I know what I'm doing.
Mm-hmm.
But a big person who really helped me learn about lifting is Joe Healy, the owner of NESP.
Love Joe.
Love Joe. That man has seen me at my lowest point. That man has seen me at the top of my performance. He knows like I'm really into it, and like everything to them, like I give kudos and everything to them. That's the people that helped me be where I am today. I've trained with them since I was like 14, and ever since then I've loved it. I've loved the style of West Side, and I always give them like all the props because that's for them. I wouldn't be where I am today in my strength, like with them. And Joe Healy's really a real guidance. Like I looked at him as an older brother when I was lifting.
That dude, he's so genuine. I love Joe Healy. I'm gonna clip this, and we'll have our team clip this and shout out Joe Healy because we love 100%. Joe. Lou's Deli, he's doing great things.
Oh yeah, he's doing big things, man. Like from where West Side NESP started at the West End gym, this little space. You know what I mean? Gritty. I'll never forget it. Walked in there, no AC. You got one window, no fan. And it's the weights were everywhere, the plates were there, and the squat racks were there. You got in there and you did your work, man. Like this was a gritty place. Like you were there to grind. And then seeing them make the transition to a bigger spot at game time, I was like, wow, like this is on the move. Like this is what people want to see, man. And like the more people came in, the more and more. And then he got another location at Westford. So now we had 2 locations at the time when I started college. And Joe's been doing big things and great things, man. With the deli too, opening the deli and the gym now, like having top athletes coming to the gym and like opening up the horizons. Like it's crazy what he's doing. And congratulations to Joe, man. Like everything he's doing, like love that man to death. Look up to him. Always doing great and bigger things. I always see it, man. Like I give everything to NESP. Like if you're a young athlete or you're looking to be better or like separate yourself from the pack, go to NESP.
Yeah.
100%. Go there. Listen to the knowledge they tell you. Like people think working out is just what you're going to learn. No, listening is the biggest thing. Being a coachable person is the biggest thing. And that's one thing I had to learn growing up with all these sports. You got to be coachable. Because no one wants a person who's a me guy.
Right.
No one.
Yeah. No, and you're not wrong. He's had Division I athletes. He has Division II athletes, D3. He has Brandon Higgins, the boxer. Like he has a lot of people coming in that gym. He's a stand-up dude, and he's a dude that you want in your back corner when
always.
Because if he's loyal to you, he's loyal to you. And I've known Joe for 6. I met him later actually. I met him 6-7 years ago, and but he's always been a real dude, always supporting me. I'm always supporting him. Like I said, I went to Lou's Deli the other day. I was in town. I checked it out. It was my first time, and I love it. I love that he's doing big things. He's just a really stand-up dude. You need more people like him in the world because he genuinely cares too. Like when I was working out with him, I was struggling financially, and he wasn't charging me. He was like, he said, he's like, as long as you work out your hardest, that's payment. And I'm like, that's a real dude. That is a real dude. He's a real guy. We need more people like him.
Yeah, Joe is like one of the greatest people I've probably ever met. And like I said, he saw me at my lowest, my highest, and I couldn't be where I am today without NESP and without like Joe in my corner. I know if I ever need to pick up the phone and I need to call him about something, I know Joe would answer.
Yeah.
And if he doesn't answer, he's going to get back to me right away. That's how he is.
Always. I want to circle back with, you were talking about bodybuilding and steroids. And so there's a lot of like negative connotation to steroids, right? So you said, like anybody who does, which you're not wrong because let's just call it what it is. You look at the bodybuilders, that's unnatural. That's an unnatural process to get to there. So in your case, what about it is positive? Because again, like I'm more asking to educate me because I've learned that there is such a negative background to them. So in your case, you're saying no, there are some benefits to it. So I want to hear from you. What are some of those benefits, or why are they not bad all the time type of deal?
I feel like the benefit is when you're a bodybuilder, it's a job. It's as simple as that, man. Like these people that are top Mr. Olympias, top bodybuilders, that's all they do. And people don't realize that. Like some of them go to a job, most of them don't. Their job is working out eating and sleeping and doing it all over again because they're working for that title of Mr. Olympia, which is like the biggest award you can get. You know what I mean? And like most of them tell you, and like most of them have like YouTube channels. Like, this is my life. Like, this is what it is. And like they're waiting for that one outbreak. And like once they have the one outbreak and they win that show, the world changes for them. Like, they become more popular and they do all this. I mean, there is a lot of negatives to steroids. Don't get me wrong. Like, there is so many non-beneficial things to them. Like, you got to make sure your health is right. You got to do all this and check all your blood work and all that. And like make sure like what you're doing is right. Like, a great example is like Ronnie Coleman. Back in the day in his prime, huge man. If you see him now, that man has had so many back surgeries because his back couldn't hold his weight. He has to use like stilts to walk, but like he'll tell you like, yeah, like I did that to be where I am today. It sucks, he says, but like if he didn't do what he did, no one would have known. Like an eight time in a row, Mr. Olympia. Like, there's a reason for it. There's a specific reason that he's that for a reason.
Yeah,
and there's a lot of like health issues with steroids, but what people are doing now is just trying to do more blood work, a lot more testing, going to their doctor more and like seeing like what is the harm if I do this right now to here. They're like, all right, you're going to do this here to here. You might have this, but it can be cured with this. And then when people come off of that stuff, they take what's called like TRT. It's kind of like testosterone replacement, I believe. Don't mark me on that. But a lot of people do that just to like level themselves out again when they're all done. And also like the effect of it is like death when it comes to steroids. Like a lot of bodybuilders die from it because like their heart just gets so big, like it can't catch up with them. They have heart attacks. You know what I mean? So like in the world we live today, bodybuilding, steroids. There is natural bodybuilders, but when you compare them, they're not the same.
Yeah. Okay.
So
yeah, no, I was just more curious to it because it sounds like to you what you're saying is there's just better advancements now and knowledge, whereas 15, 20 years ago when I was growing up, and you were too, it was like no, absolutely no steroids. It's terrible. I don't know about you. I always heard that it makes your pee-pee smaller. So I was like, all right, I'm not. I don't know. I don't need to deal with that. So it was one of those things where it's like there was always a negative connotation to it, and so it's kind of interesting hearing from you, someone who has done their research, watched videos, listened to even just testimonies of these former athletes talk about it.
Yeah.
And it's pretty cool to hear from you. I love to learn. So the fact that you said that, it was pretty cool because in my head, like I said, in my head, I go, wait a minute. Like, I mean, is it really a good thing? But you're right. It's a job. It's a job.
Yeah.
It's helping them train to where they need to be. And that's something that a lot of people don't see those type of things. So yeah, no, pretty cool. I wanna switch up a little bit here. So I think I saw that you're an uncle now. Is that correct?
I am an uncle. Yes, Whoa. My sister just had her first son, Luca.
Yeah.
He's only a couple months old, but that's my second nephew.
Yeah.
Yeah, I have an older nephew. He's 20. From our other sister, Dala.
Yeah.
She had him at a young age, but she passed away a couple years ago. But Luca's my second nephew. Abby had her first kid, so I'm excited. I haven't really seen Luca because I've been at school a lot, so it's hard. But I'm trying to go see him pretty soon.
I'm sorry to hear that. I didn't know that you lost a sibling.
Back in 8th grade, our sister passed away. I think I was
my goodness.
Grade. Yeah, I was in 8th grade.
Wow.
Yeah.
I'm so sorry to hear that. Yeah, that's not easy. It's not easy.
No. At the time, I was just young and I didn't understand, but I did. And you know what I mean? It was just one of those things where I needed to step up as an uncle for my nephew, Tyrell.
Mm-hmm.
So that's what I needed to do. And he is a great person now, Tyrell, man. That man has grown up to be a great guy. Love him to death. He knows he can reach out to me whenever. Just seeing him grow up was one of the coolest things for me. And I was an uncle at 3.
Yeah.
So I was a baby with him.
Mm-hmm.
So it was pretty surreal. When I found out, as I got older, oh, you're an uncle. And I was like, huh? What do you mean? It was just my nephew, Tyrell. But yeah, Abby just had her first kid. So I'm excited. Like I said, I haven't seen Luca yet, but I've seen him once or twice, but I can't wait to be around more to see him.
Yeah, yeah. Are you coming home for the holidays as it's
I
coming up?
am. I
Yeah.
actually come home Thursday. I'm all done. Like I'm officially all done. Handed in my last paper and everything for grad school. So it was a grind, but yeah, I'll be home Thursday finally, which is nice, and I'll be home for good
All
and
right.
with
And then
parents.
you'll be able to see him and all that
Mm-hmm.
stuff. Nice.
Exactly.
Nice. So I also see a lot of photos of you and your lovely girlfriend. How did you two meet? What's the story behind that? Did you stalk her for a little bit? Let's hear it.
So my girlfriend's Isabella. So we met here at school. She's a softball player. I was a baseball player, and coming around the time it was baseball formal time. We were getting ready for our formal, and I was gonna go alone. I was like, whatever, I'll go alone. But then I knew who she was. Like, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, and she knew who I was. But we never really talked. Like, I never even like said what's up to her or whatever. And then one day I was like, this girl's like really beautiful. Like, let me ask her to formal. Like, I'll ask her. And if it doesn't work out, it doesn't work out. Whatever. And I was like, hey, like, I'm really thinking, like, would you like to go to formal with me? And she was like, yeah, I'll go to formal with you. And I was like, wow, it's that easy. Like, what am I waiting for? Like,
All you
damn,
had to
all
do
right.
was talk to her.
Just had to go talk to her. That was that simple. And so when that happened, we just went to formal, like had a good time, like kicked it off. And like from there, it's just been like that, man. It was just like how it was written in stone. Like it just happened when it happened.
That's awesome. How long ago was that?
Oh, it was last February,
Okay.
January, I think. Actually, end of January is when we had our formal last year. So we just started talking like the end of January. We started dating in March, I would say. Right in
It,
March.
is she in the same grade as you?
No, actually. She's younger than me. She's a junior.
Okay.
I'm still 21 and I'm 24. I'm a
Yeah.
little old for school now. I gotta get going. Well, that's the joke everyone says. Everyone calls me grandpa on campus.
Yeah.
It's interesting, but no, she's a junior. She's doing communications herself, so she got one more year, and then that's it. I mean, I'll be around. I'll try to come see her games on the weekend because she still plays. So it's nice. It's
It,
different, but yeah, man, it just happened. Like
it's
nothing
not
set
too
in
bad
stone.
of a drive, right?
No, Springfield. So I actually moved out a little. I moved to North Attleboro. I live with Bella. I live with my girlfriend. North Attleboro from Lowell is about 40 minutes,
Hmm.
but like from North Attleboro to Springfield is about an hour and 15.
No, that's not bad. Yeah,
No,
it's not
not bad
bad.
at all.
You're like kind of centrally located, but you're also a way to do your own thing, you know, create
Exactly.
your own name. And you were talking about the police academy in Rhode Island. How far is that? North
So
Attleboro? Yeah, how far is that?
yeah, it's only about 25 minutes where I need to be. I applied for East Providence, Rhode Island, and I
Cool.
got in. So now it's just waiting for the academy, getting ready, and it's 22 weeks. So we just gotta make it through. And just gotta grind through it.
Yeah, yeah. It sounds like you're doing a lot of things to set yourself up. I know we talked a little personally, not on the show where we kind of were talking about life and stuff like that. So it sounds like you're doing a lot of things to line those dominoes up where they need to be. And
Mm-hmm.
I couldn't be more proud of you. I think you're doing great stuff. You're killing it,
Thank
dude.
you, man. Thank
Yeah,
you.
just
Thank
keep
you.
it up. Just keep it up. So another thing I want to ask is, you have a lot of ink too. I mean, you
I
like,
do have some ink now. Yes, growing up, I never had ink. Now I have some ink now. So yeah.
yeah. Give me a rundown of some of them, what they mean to you.
So basically, so I'll start here. This is
Yeah.
my sister's name, Abby. She has the same thing I have. So it was a nice senior gift before I went to college. But my first one was just some praying hands. Oops, sorry, right there. Praying hands, just family, like always close to me. Family means a lot to me.
Yep.
And then I have a clotter ring right here, basically.
Yep.
And it's just like for my grandfather, my dad, they're Irish. So I'm half Irish, half Puerto Rican. That's why
Yeah.
it says chameleon. That's why I have a clotter ring. And then I have dog tag for my cousin who was a Marine and a firefighter who passed away,
Oh wow.
basically, and all that. So that's what. So it was just like a sentimental piece that I needed
Yep.
and stuff. So it is what it is. Like, you know what I mean? Things happen, and it like if it was meant to be, he always told me like live life to your fullest, and what happens happens. And if you know what I mean, the end of the day, you're not here with us physically, you're always here spiritually with us. And so I always ran with that from
Yep.
him. And then basically this one, it's an I, Isabella. You can assume that. Like I have no reason to. So people say I'm crazy for that, but in reality, I got it because I'm very sad. I'm very happy. I'm at a peace in my mind with her,
Yep.
where I know I don't need to go anywhere. Like it's my decision. it's what I want to do, man. I'm not gonna let people dictate me and like tell me what I can and can't do.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So like it's for her, it's an I. Her name's Isabella. So I just ran with it. Just got it, simple, something little. You know what I mean?
It's nice, simple, cute. I mean,
Exactly.
and at the end of the day, here's the thing. Yes, they're permanent. Yes, tattoos are permanent, and so people probably are like, oh, why would you have another person's body like or name on your body, whatever the case may be. The truth is this is how I view it. Those memories are also permanent. Just saying,
Mhm.
just saying. People will,
Yes.
yes, these are physical. I have a few tattoos as well. This is my newest one. Yes, they're permanent, but those memories are also permanent too. And so
Exactly.
there are moments where you go by in life and you're like, and you just, even myself, like, not even necessarily with love, just you'll be walking by and you're like, oh, I remember when I was 5, I went to the store and I did this. You know what I mean?
Mhm.
That's a permanent memory. So
Exactly.
for you, if it's something that means that much to you, why not, dude? I'm not gonna judge you and say you're
Exactly.
nuts because of, oh, you've dated under a year. Who cares? If you love her and you're in love, it's all that matters, man. And you're the happiest you've ever been. I mean, I see
Exactly.
he's glowing because I'm sure she's gonna listen to this.
Oh, 100%.
He is glowing from every time he talks about you. So,
Yeah.
I obviously you're doing something right. So,
Yeah. And then
um,
I got like little ones too. Like I have this for my other sister who passed away. Like Roman, it was her birthday, and then I have like my mom on my chest, her name,
yeah,
and then I have doves on my abdomen,
I saw
and
that one.
then
Yeah, yeah,
yeah, have that coming up, and then I have like 3 words that my sister always told me, like strength, courage, and fearless, like just growing up, and like just like little things like that. You know what I mean? Like I always make sure before I put it on my body, does it mean something to me?
yep.
Like it has to mean something to me personally.
Hmm.
I mean, if I wanted to get like a little tattoo of something that I thought was cool,
Yeah,
yeah, sure, why not? Like I'll do it. But like most of the time, I got to make sure it means something to me.
I got you. I
Yeah.
got you. Yeah, I mean, and really cool that you're able to just embody those unfortunate tragedies with your cousin and your sister, and you live through it. I like all the work. I mean, it looks like it's nice and clean. I don't know where you go, but you might want to shout them out because I looking at them, I'm like, man, I might need to go ahead and get get
I actually
get
have
some
not
work.
had one set artist. So
Really, you've
my
gone to a
first
bunch of different
tattoo,
places.
yeah. So
Same.
my first tattoo with the family, and my inner biceps are done by the same person, but his name was Alex. But I think it's Pain and Pleasure in New Hampshire, I believe. I'm not confident, and he passed away because he committed suicide. You know what I mean? So like, I never had a set artist after that.
Yeah.
So I always went to like little shops here and there for little tattoos. And I was just like, it kind of was my thing. I think it's called Black and Sheep and Lowell.
Yeah.
That's who did my dog tags for me. So that's where I'll mainly go now.
Yeah.
That's where I will always go.
What's it
So
called
it's
again?
I think Black and Sheep or Dark and Sheep. I'm not too positive with that.
Okay, but it's in Lowell. Yeah,
It's in Lowell, yeah.
I'm sure if you look up like sheep tattoo shop Lowell on Google,
Yeah, it'll pop up.
it'll pop up. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, no, yeah.
So I've never had like a set artist. So like it's different.
I'm the same way. I have, let's see, 1, 2. Sometimes I forget they're on your body. Like in
Oh my
all
god, all
seriousness,
the
yeah,
time, dude. I'll be like, I'll wake up and I look in the mirror and I'm like, oh my god, I have a tattoo.
yeah. No, I forget about it. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So I have 7, and I think I've gone to a different person almost for every single one. Yeah. So
Yeah, like that's what I mean, man. It's different ones like all the time. So I've always like I also transferred schools and stuff like that. So it was like different. So I had to I got a tattoo out there and then I got tattoos out here and it was just I got tattoos home. So it's like I'm all around. Like I don't have one set artist. And, like I just haven't found the artist yet.
right. So you transferred schools prior to the where do you go? AIC?
AIC.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I transferred. So in high school, I wasn't always the brightest bulb. I really thought athletics would take me where I wanted to be. And that's not the case at all. You know what I mean? I didn't realize that till going to school, where I went to a small D3 college called St. Joseph's College of Maine, and I was a walk-on again. So I walked on. I mean, I committed, but at a walk-on spot.
Hmm.
And so if you don't know what that is, or if people don't know what that is, basically you're committing verbally, but not on a definite spot where you can get cut after the fall. You can get cut midway through the fall. So going into there, like through high school, I played a little high for Danny Graham. Love that man to death. In high school, I was mainly a pitcher, and not many people know that when I play now. Like in summer ball, I played shortstop and all that stuff, and but like mainly in high school, I was a pitcher. That's what I was used for a lot. I mean, I played the infield. Don't get me wrong. I played outfield a little bit too, because I wanted to get on the field. But like I was mainly a pitcher. And when I went to school, I just was like, I'm gonna play infield. I don't want to pitch anymore. Like it is what it is. And I was really nervous because I'm a walk on, and like at any moment I could get cut.
Right.
And coming out of high school, I didn't have the greatest GPA at all. Like I'll be honest, I did not. You know what I mean? So I had to really work hard in my first year of school, like going on playing through the fall, and like I grinded, man. Like I did everything I could. You know what I mean? And like at the end of the day, I made the team.
Mm-hmm.
And we have fall games at the end, and I started. I was a 18-year-old freshman playing with 22-year-olds, 23-year-olds, 20-year-olds. And I'm just fresh out of high school, and I'm starting. I was like, oh, this is like legit. I'll never forget this, man. I'll never forget the first fall squad we played, like against a different school at the end. I was running down the baseline, and I hit the base wrong. And I like somersaulted over, and I like fractured my wrist. And I was like, damn, like that's a setback. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So whatever. So I got so upset about that. I got so distracted at school. Like I was going out, I was partying, like I was having fun being a freshman, but I didn't know how to balance it. My time management was not perfect.
Mm-hmm.
So I finished college the first semester, I think, with like a 2.0 or a 1.9. Like I just made the cusp. And like I was like, damn, like, ooh, man, I'm kind of close. So I needed a reality. I'll never forget. I went home. I told my parents, and I got ripped.
Yeah.
Like ripped, because like they were telling me like, you have all this money in the school. Like, why you fucking around? Like, you got to get your shit together. And I was like, damn, like, and like I'll never forget. My dad was like, I am disappointed, and that's when it hit me, man. I was like, wow. Like, I know he loves me. I know he's not mad at me. He's disappointed. And I was like, damn, Dad, like you said that hit the heart. Like
It hits
that
different.
hit the heart hard. It hits different. And so I was like, whatever. So at school too, like this is when I really started to lift. So I hurt my wrist, and then when I got cleared, I wasn't really cleared. I like just taped it up.
Mm-hmm.
And I was like, I'm gonna work out. Like I gotta work out. I'm sick of sitting on my ass doing nothing. That's when I really started. So my freshman year, I went to college at 150, 145. I was little. I was tiny.
Yeah, petite.
Petite, dude. I was petite. At the end of my first college semester, I weighed 189. And I had like no fat. I literally worked out twice a day, and I just like that's when I really found out I really like lifting more.
Yep.
So that's when I started to find out I like bodybuilding more. So I started to work out like one. And when I tell you I put on a lot of muscle mass, I put on a lot of muscle mass. But I was still like petite.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like I was like a lean 189. I wasn't
Well, because
like
you've always had like a slender build, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I've always had a slender build growing up. So I was like, damn, what the hell is going on? So that's when like so back to starting, I hit 225. That's when I went back in the winter. I started Joe, and I started working on SP again to catch up. And that's when I hit 225. And then I don't know what it was, man, but ever since I hit 200, after that, when I went back to school and I started working out, my numbers started to go up way faster. Started to like put more muscle mass on, but I like lost a little bit of weight, but it was still muscle mass I was putting on. So I was like so pumped up. So now the season comes around, and we're like midway through it, is what it is. And we have our meetings, and the coach, like at the end of the day, like we sat down and we talked, and we did not see eye to eye. We did not see eye to eye on what was going on. So then from there, I like got released basically from my first college team. Basically like kicked off.
Yeah.
So it is what it is. I'm in the dumps. Don't know what the hell I'm going to do. Like, I don't even know if I want to play baseball. Because like after hearing that, like being released from a team, I was like, man, like that's the hardest news I've ever heard. Not me getting my GPA that I got like that, because my life evolved around baseball.
Mm-hmm.
I'll never forget, like, I sat there, man. I sat in my room, and I just bawled my eyes out. Like, I couldn't talk to nobody, even call my parents. Like, I just bawled my eyes out. And I was thinking, like, damn, what the hell's next? Like, what am I going to do? Like, I don't know. Like, I'm lost here. So then I sit down. I come home for summer break. Grind, man. Like, when I tell you my life evolved, like, I woke up, I ate food, I worked out, I went to the field for 5 hours, came back, slept, did it all over again. Every single day. Because I wanted to prove to myself that I could do this again. And so I go back to St. Joe's my sophomore year. I enter the transfer portal. And within 5 seconds, AIC reached out. Right? So the coach reached out. He's like, hey, we saw that you're in. And one of my friends went here way before. And he was like, hey, we saw that you're in transfer portal. Like, would you like to come have a workout? And I'm like, yeah, come have a workout. Like, this is the start that I need here. I come here, I do the workout, kill it. Do what I need to do, ball out. And then when that happens, I start to realize, like, damn, this could be a start. So at the end of it, we have our meeting. The coach is like, again, he goes, I'd love to have you here, but at a walk-on spot. And in my head, I'm like, I can't go through this again. I was like, yeah, thank you very much. Like, I'll think about it. Like, I'll have time to think about it. And I was like, man, I don't know if I want to go through this again. Like, I don't know if I can do this. Like, a walk-on spot, is it going to happen again? And in my head, I talked to my dad about it. And I'll never forget, my dad looked at me, and he was just like, fuck it. Do what you need to do. If this is your opportunity, go fucking take it. Who cares about the outcome? We'll figure out when that comes. But right now, you need to focus on what's in front of you and not what's 5 steps ahead.
Yeah.
To get to step 5, you need to go through 1, 2, 3, 4.
Yeah.
And I committed, and I came here, and I balled out, man. I'll never forget the first weekend. I think we had a game, an inter squad. No one knows who I am. I'm just the kid who transferred here. This is the transfer kid. Well, what is he gonna do here? Yada yada yada. I was like, oh, whatever, man. Already talking shit about me, right? So we go to play game. First at bat, single up the middle. Like, oh, fuck, good. I got that out of the way, dude. Like, in the infield, balling out, making all these crazy plays, man. I'll never forget, like, the staplement to who everyone knew who I was. We were down, I think, 1 run. Runners on first and second, man. Like 2 outs, like the bottom of the 7th. And I was like, all right, whatever, man. Like, I'm just going to go up here and grind. Like, I got to get 1 run in. Get up there, wait, get my pitch, boom. Crush a ball with 390, left center. And I was like, and then everyone started to be like, oh, shit. Like, even the coach was like, oh, shit, this kid's, like, legit.
Yeah.
And I think, like, learning from what happened my first year, being released, just grinding.
Mm-hmm.
It doesn't matter what happened before. What are you going to do now? Like, forget all this and all the loud noises. What are you going to do right now that's going to make a difference to yourself? Are you going to curl up and stop? Or are you going to sack up and try to go on? And that was, like, the biggest thing and the hardest thing for me to realize. But once I figured that out, I got here, I balled out, did what I had to do. That's how easy it was. And so the first year I came here was COVID year.
Oh, damn. So you're just having obstacles after obstacles.
Yeah. And so then we go to Florida, and that's when we hear that's COVID. It's over. When I tell you I wasn't even hitting my weight, I wasn't hitting my weight. I wasn't even hitting in the hundreds in Florida. I was in a hitter slump so bad that I was putting so much pressure on I think I had 20 at-bats. I think I had 12 Ks. So I was putting so much pressure on myself because I was like, fuck, I, like, need to prove to them and all this and all that. And, like, I think I hit, like, a fucking, like, 80. It's not even 100. Like, I was hitting 80 as an average because I couldn't click it. And I talked to my coach, and, like, I was so flustered. You could tell I was so flustered, man. Or, like, I would piss on a ball right at somebody, and I'd be like, oh, you got to be kidding me right now, dude. Like, those are my hits. And he was like, you just got to relax. And, like, telling me all this. And I'm getting so flustered here and this. And he's like, I understand you're flustered. And I was like, I'm so pissed right now. And he's like, just have fun. And so then the next day comes, the day we hear that it's canceled. Every game in the morning. And he puts on a bunt sign. I'll never forget this. Guy on first puts on a bunt sign. I bunt for a double. And I'm like, that's what it took? And I was like, damn, this is what it feels like to be on first again? And he was like, it's all it took. I started hitting the ball that game. And I was like, wow, like, that's crazy, man. He was like, see what happens? You don't put pressure on yourself. And I was like, all right, you're right, Skip. Like, we call him Skip. So, and it was just like, but yeah, then COVID happened. So now I'm out. Now we're out for the whole spring. And I was like, damn, man. And it was an obstacle. It was an obstacle COVID year for me.
Yeah. Yeah, it sounds like you had one right after the other between your grades slipping, which you said, and I was the same way. We struggled with school in general,
Mm-hmm.
and then your injury, and then COVID. So it sounds, and then being released. So it just sounds like you had obstacle after obstacle after obstacle. But I always, a lot of times your story is kind of inspirational. And this is why I love doing this show, is because a lot of times when people will like listen to other people talk and then things like that, or they'll like see somebody's success on Instagram, right?
Mm-hmm.
And even you, for example, I've seen your Instagram. I've seen that there were times where you were paper thin, and then I did randomly see you bulk up, and then you posted a photo of you lifting and things like
Yeah,
that. A lot of times people don't want to look at that, and like a lot of times people look at that and they don't realize the hard work that you had to do, the hard work that you did in silence to get to that
exactly.
point. And so for you, man, kudos to you, brother, because I really think that a lot of times these, I hope people, whoever listens to this, I hope they see that you went through some serious shit before you got to where you got to be in all aspects. And I'm one of those individuals that believe everything happens the way it's supposed to happen. You needed all these obstacles. You needed your dad being disappointed in you. But then you also needed him to say, go in, reckless,
Yeah,
abandonment, just kind of go in, fuck it, attitude, and go kill it.
yeah,
And then you need your coach to say, stop putting pressure on yourself. Yeah, you hit that dinger, but stop putting pressure on yourself. Like, come on.
Mhm.
So, dude, you are really, really killing it. And I know when you posted on your Instagram page about Buy Baseball, you're really upset about it, or really emotional, because it is an emotional attachment to a game that you
yeah,
love. And I said to you, dude, you kill every chapter that you do in life,
yeah.
and your next one will be no different. So I'm proud of you, dude, for what that's worth, man, and you're killing it, and I can't wait to continue to see where this journey goes for you, my friend.
Thank you, man. And even so, like on top of that too. So like I'll share another story about baseball.
Please.
So last last spring, so like 2 summers ago, I'm playing summer ball, right? I got to play in the backhand. I throw the ball, my arm is like a little weird, so I was like, oh, whatever, like you know what I mean. I played through it, finished the game. Next day, I can't throw a ball like 5 feet. Like I couldn't even pick up a ball. My arm hurt so bad. So I stopped playing the summer. And I go to every doctor I could. To come to find out, I tore my UCL, like shredded it.
That's in your elbow, right?
Yeah, the Tommy John surgery.
Yep.
Tore my UCL. So now this is the summer of 2021. And I'm going to the doctors and they're telling me like, I don't know, man, like you're going to have to get surgery. So now if I got the surgery, I'm out all year.
You're right. Yep.
So I am down in the dumps. Like when I tell you I didn't play baseball in 2021 in the summer, I did it because I couldn't. I was so upset. Like, and I'm sitting there calling the trainers, calling my coach. I'm like, I don't know what I want to do, man. Like, then I'm starting to think like, that's it. That's all she wrote.
Yep.
Like, it's time to move on in my life. Because that winter I was graduating with my undergrad.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm sitting there contemplating, whatever. And I'm like, I don't know what I want to do, man. Like, and I'm like calling other doctors for other opinions. And I'm like, do I need to get the surgery? Yes, no, like maybe so. And all of them had different answers. They were like, you could, if you want to really use your potential and like maximize your arm strength and all that, you don't need it. Like you just need to do rehab. Like it's not that bad, but it's fully torn. Like when I tell you my UCL is gone, like I don't, in the x-ray, in the MRI I got, it's hanging like by a thread. Like one thread is just dangling down. So I'm calling the trainers, calling the Skip, and I'm like, I don't know what I want to do, man. He's like, you're going to be fine. Like, don't worry. We're going to figure this out. And then this one doctor I go to in Boston, he's like, what position do you play? I was like, I play infield. And he's like, how often do you make 100% throw? And I was like, not often. Like, he's like, all right, so you just need to take time off. And like, we're going to figure this out. So I don't get Tommy John. I don't play in the fall. Coming off a like spectacular spring, like crazy numbers in the spring. Yeah. I think I had like 297 with like 39 RBIs and like 5 home runs. You know what I mean? I was going off this
So
spring.
you were balling.
Yeah, I was balling. Like I was having my season. I was having my sophomore year basically, like balling out. And I come back. I don't play fall ball at all. tear my UCL, so I'm doing rehab. And it was the most torturous thing I could do, because watching them play, I want to be out there so bad. Like, you know what I mean? Like grinding with my boys, grinding with my teammates, and I can't even do anything. So all fall, I didn't even do anything. So towards October, when the end of the fall, that was my first time throwing. I threw 10 throws from 10 feet. And I was the happiest kid alive. Like, so happy, you don't understand, man. Like, I was jumping with joy, like, and then I didn't have arm pain. I was like, oh, man, like, maybe this is going to really work. So I go through all the rehab. I play the season, man. I don't get Tommy John. Like, I really thought it was over. And, like, reality, like, my trainers were in my corner, and, like, they helped me get through it, everything. Like, I was getting PT every day. I was doing rehab every day, like, making sure I was on schedule. And I throw harder now than when I did with a UCL. And I didn't even get the Tommy John.
Mm-hmm.
So, like, everyone was like, all the freshmen that came were like, there's no way he tore his UCL. There's none of this, none of that. And, like, the trainer was like, yeah, like, he doesn't have one. And they were like, well, he's throwing hard. And I was like, Kevin, even the trainer was like, I don't know. I don't know what it is with this kid. This kid's weird. This kid's got weird genetics, I think. And so then it is what it is. And then go through the season. And so last year I like hit a slump too. I was bad, dude. Like I went downhill. Like after Florida, I like got in the biggest slump I could pause. I had the yips, and
I've heard about the yips.
Yeah, coach benched me, and I was like, oh fuck, man, whatever. Like I was pissed, and he sat me down. He's like, look, you're not doing good. Like my coach is very honest, which is what I like. He's like, look, you have the yips. You are shitting the bed right now because you have no confidence in yourself again. Like what is this? And I'm telling him, and he's like, all right, well, you got to figure it out. That next practice, I came out with a fire under my ass, dude. Balling out, making all these plays. And he's like, so what's the difference? And I looked at him. I'll never forget this. And my coach even uses it to this day as an example. I looked at him, and I was like, you know what? I took it as a fuck you from you, dude.
When he benched you?
Yeah, to me, when he benched me, and he was like, and I was like, I took that as a fuck you, so fuck you, Skip.
Yeah.
And he was just like, whoa. And all the coaches were like, yeah, you got to have that intent. Yeah, you got to do that. And I was like, all right, I guess. So then I get my opportunity with a pinch at bat. I line out to the warning track, but I work it, work it. So now, instead of playing third, our third baseman's going to be an All-American this year. Jackson Haker, man. I give him a shot. That's my brother. I love that kid to death. That kid is an animal at third base. Better than me at third. 100%. Hands down. You know what I mean? And they moved me to outfield. I just started balling out there, man. That's when I found out I was an outfielder. You know what I mean? Like, that was the better opportunity for my arm, too. That's when I was making every throw consistent.
Right.
At the same arm angle. So, like, with that, like, I'm just going to say, like, to people out there and to, like, kids that are going through, like, Tommy John or, like, that have to get surgery on something, don't let that distract you from the outcome.
Mm-hmm.
Just because right now is shitty doesn't mean at the end of the day there's a positive. There is always a positive. What's the negative? You have an injury. What's the positive? You're going to rehab yourself to be better to make sure that doesn't happen again. Because injuries always happen, and that's what people forget, man. Like, in college, like, injuries are going to happen. As you get older, your body catches up with you.
Yeah.
That means you got to maintain it better. And like, just for, like, the mentality part, it sucks. I was in the lowest part. Like, my head was in the dumps, not doing anything I wanted to do. Like, I was so down bad, dude. Like, I'll be honest. Like, I think I drank, like, almost every night with my friends. Because I was so upset that I couldn't do anything. Like, but I was still working out. I was still making sure I'm healthy. But, like, I wasn't in the greatest headspace I needed to be.
Mm-hmm.
So my outlet was, like, just go have a couple beers.
Yeah.
A couple beers turned into a lot. And that was almost like every night. And I was like, there's an issue here.
Mm-hmm.
So that's when I really needed to, like, look at the positive in the outcome and be like, there's a fucking positive. I'm going to play. It's about time. It takes time. Like, don't worry about how long it takes. Worry about how much better you're going to be at the end of this. And that's something I tell everybody. I tell everybody my story. It's like, that's what I tell everybody, man. Like, you just got to look at the positive. Like, don't let the negative bring you down so bad that you don't have the right headspace to even think. And, like, that's, like, the biggest thing, mental awareness. And this is what happens to athletes. They're so worried about things. They get in their own head and they feel like they don't have anybody to talk to, that it just takes a toll, and then you end up having an athlete like lose a life because of it. So for all the athletes out there and anybody listening, mental health is a big thing in sports and in general. So if you need to go talk to somebody, go talk to somebody. Even if it's your neighbor, you have no idea who that person is. Open up. It's okay to. Like, if you're having a bad day, just talk to somebody. Like, it's okay to go see somebody and talk. Because sometimes it's not good to just talk to yourself, because then you're going to counteract it. And for me, like, I needed to go see a sports psychologist to get out of this slump. It helped me because I was able to talk to somebody. And then one thing I realized is having a journal. Because sometimes I didn't want to talk to people. So I'd write in the journal, knowing the journal isn't going to say anything back to me. I'm able to spill my thoughts out on this book, and no one's going to hear about it. That's what helped me. And, like, that's what I tell athletes, man. Go talk to somebody. It's very important. It's, like, just very important to do that. And, like, anybody who makes fun of you for it, they're going through something just like you.
Yeah. And they don't understand. And I really appreciate you being vulnerable and sharing that. A lot of those experiences, even the fact of you saying, like, hey, you know, I made some decisions. I kind of was doing things that were a little unhealthy, and while I was still working out, I'd still, dude, the fact that you were able to be vulnerable and share those things, man. And honestly, a lot of, again, going back to what we were saying, a lot of people focus on the destination, right? And then you sit there and you go, well, how do you want to get there? I don't know. Like, hey, what do you want to do in life? I want to be, I don't know, like in your case, I want to be a baseball player. What do you want to do to get there? I don't know.
Mm-hmm.
Like, a lot of times people don't realize that regardless on what you do in life, you're going to go through shit. And in your case, dude, very proud of you. You're fucking killing it. And the fact that you were able to be vulnerable and share that, it's inspirational, dude. And I really appreciate that you taking the time being vulnerable and doing that on a platform like this. So thank you so much, my friend. I really appreciate you doing that.
Man, if I can't be honest with people out there, like, how am I supposed to? I always tell them, if I can't be honest and truthful with other people, how can I give somebody the right advice?
Yeah.
Like, everyone fucks up. No one has a perfect life.
Yeah.
Everyone fucks up, man.
I love it. And thank you again. So I'm going to switch into something a little different here, okay?
All right.
So, from a semi-reliable source, okay, I heard that you hated wearing underwear as a kid, and you would disrobe and run around the house and stand on a couch in a Superman pose and yell "naked man."
Oh my God. I don't know. This is definitely my sister or something, probably.
You know, I don't know.
Man.
I said semi-reliable. I said semi-reliable.
So, yeah, growing up as a kid, I hated wearing clothes, I guess my parents would tell me. And I would, like, just run around naked in the household, like, as a kid, like, and I would just stand on the couch and just, like, enjoy myself as a kid. Like, I think there's a vague photo of it. Like, there's a photo of me on the couch.
Yeah.
And my mom always brings it up at, like, family functions or just in general. It's just me on a couch. And, like, it's the funniest thing. And, like, oh, man, there's so many, like, little kid things I could tell you. Like, I think as a little kid, I shoved, like, an M&M up my nose.
Oh, my goodness.
Like, my mom came home and, like, I had to push so hard out of my nose and it came out. My mom was so mad. Or, like, I colored myself purple once with a marker.
Okay.
Sharpie marker. And I told my dad I was Barney one day.
Yeah.
Or, like, I was, like, 4 or 5. We just got a pool, right? We just got a pool in the backyard. I don't know how to swim. My dad's asleep, so my parents worked opposite shifts because I wasn't in school yet.
Yeah.
And I woke up. My dad wasn't awake. I, like, had cereal, and I was bored. And I was like, oh, I just want to go swimming. So this is, like, 7 in the morning. I put the pool deck down. I go up. I'm 4. I don't even have a life jacket on. I'll never forget this. I just hopped in. I was, like, 3 feet tall. So, like, I was, like, the pool's taller than me.
Oh, my goodness, no.
So I just hop in, and I just start swimming.
Yeah.
Like, I put it together. Like, I just, like, grab the edge, start crawling on the edge, and, like, then I let go, and I start to swim back and forth. And I go to the front door. I ring the doorbell. My dad's like, who's that? And it's, like, me wet. I'm like, can I have a towel, Dad? And he's like, what the fuck were you doing? Like, and he calls my mom, and she's like, oh, what's up? He's like, no, Dalton was swimming. He's like, what do you mean? He was like, I was asleep, and Mom was like, you were asleep and you were swimming. No, 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 no. And I was like, oh my God. And then I come home, my mom's like, you're an idiot. What are you doing? Like, you're 4 and you can't swim. I was like, I can swim now.
So now Mom's pissed at both you and Dad.
Yeah, but now I can swim. That's why I can swim. I just jumped in the pool one day and I just did it.
Hey, there you go. So that story was true. No, I growing up, kids always do stupid shit. Growing up, it's funny you say this. I was afraid of underwear when I was a kid. I thought that like underwear germs because it was so close to your butt and when you pooped. Yeah. So for me as a kid, I was like, I don't want to put it back on. So I'd have to get another pair whenever I like went to the bathroom, or even like when I came home from school, I would completely strip and put on a new underwear because I was like, no, I need to. So, and it's funny how you just do that. And now I'm at a point where I kind of do that now, even like now as an adult. If I'm like, after a long day, I'm like, man, I've been wearing these clothes for some time. I'm going to I'm going to change. Yeah. So, no, I just want to, there's a couple more. Okay. Let's see if this is true. So, all right. In my research, I found that you used to call your father Uncle John in public settings. Yeah. And that you got lost in the dairy aisle of a supermarket. And this prompted you to tell the employee that you were looking for your Uncle John, and they announced it over the intercom.
Yes, this is true. I was in a grocery store. We went on a family trip. And
Market Basket?
I think.
Or Hannaford? Hannaford, okay.
One in Chelmsford, one in Drum Hill. And they're food shopping, and my dad's like, all right, come with me. We're going to get this. All right? So I'm like, all right, whatever. I'm standing there. I'm like looking this way, and he's walking this way. And I turn around. My dad's not there. So I'm like, oh, my God. I was like 5 or 6. I don't know what to do. I'm walking up every aisle. Can't find them anywhere. Nowhere. And so then my mom goes, where's Dalton? And my dad goes, I thought he was with you.
I was sleeping. No, I'm just kidding.
And she goes, nope, he was with you. This is in the checkout line. They didn't realize I was gone until the checkout line. So then I'm going to the intercom, and she's like, we have a lost kid here looking for Uncle John. And my dad was like, there's the idiot.
There he is.
He grabs me. He's like, what are you doing? And he was like, I'm your dad, not Uncle John. And I was like, I don't know. Like, I just said Uncle John. Like, I'm so nervous. I'm, like, crying at 5. And I'm, like, in the front of this store with, like, 5 managers. And I was like, I'm sorry. And my mom's like, what the fuck?
Hey, I'm sure you're not the only person. I worked at a supermarket. So you my first job was at a supermarket. So you definitely were not the only kid that has ever been lost. So
100%.
Yeah.
There's probably kids that just, like, wander off. That was me. I was a wanderer.
Yeah.
I had to be like right next to you, or I was wandering.
Yep. No, and your dad just so hey, Dad, there's 2 strikes for you, okay? I'm kidding. So last one, okay? Last one I got, okay? According to some of your former classmates, okay, you would walk around your school saying that you were adopted because your mother had a photo of herself from her first wedding, and you questioned the validity of your father being your father.
Yes, I actually did. That was kindergarten. I'll never forget. Miss Masterchorus is her name. And so, like, I was so young that I never saw a photo of, like, my 2 parents, like, at a wedding or in their wedding.
Okay.
So it always, like, clicked, and I was like, I don't know what's going on here. So, like, I was like, oh, okay, like, maybe he's not my dad. Like, you know what I mean? I don't know. So I'm, like, young trying to put this together. Yeah. And I, like, told my teacher that because they were friends with my family, close family friends, my teacher in kindergarten. Teacher calls my mom. She's, like, telling her this. And my mom's like, what? Like, no. Like, John is his father. Like, no. And so I sit down, and my parents, like, talk to me. And, like, look. My parents never got married until I was 12.
Okay.
But they were dating since my sister Abby was, like, 2 or 3. That's when he came to the photo of my dad. They met at work, and so, like, my dad took care of my sister Abby, like, most of her life. That's who was there.
Yeah.
You know, me and my mom got divorced, my dad were divorced, and they met at work. My dad was in the Army for a period amount of time and got stationed at Raytheon just to work, like a civil person. And so then they met, and Abby, like I said, Abby was getting taken care of by him. And then, like, I was here, I was young. So, like, growing up, like, I never saw a photo. So I was like, oh, like, what's going on? Like, and then I saw the photo and it wasn't my dad. And I was like, oh, God, like, what's going on here? So then that's why I ran with it. And that's why I always said that. And no one explained it to me. So, like, as a kid, like, what you see is what you see.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah. Yep.
These pictures, like, you're like, all right, that's not him. So then they sat me down. I was like, look, they're like, like legally, my parents were married, and they explained it to me. And like, then like years down the road, I was 12, and my dad proposed, and I was like, oh shit. And then at the wedding, I'll never forget, I made a joke. I was like, so you're not my uncle? And my dad was like, shut up. And so like that's what like always didn't click to me because I never saw a photo at first. So I was like, oh, like, well, what's going on?
Yeah.
And then my mom sat me down and explained it, and I was like, I get it. You're my dad. You're my dad.
Now I get it. Now, yeah, no. It's just funny when you hear these things. Yeah, so apparently my sources are correct then. All right.
Oh,
So,
yes, your source is correct. All those are true. Like, everything is true. So.
All right. I love it. All right. We're going to wrap it up here with some fireball questions, okay? You ready?
All right. Yeah.
Speaking of on the believing and all that stuff, we were just talking about it. So what conspiracy theory do you believe in?
Conspiracy theory. Oh, man. I gotta pick a conspiracy theory.
Yeah.
Well, I could say for anybody who thinks the world is flat, you're wrong. It is round. I will start with that.
You're not a flat earther. Yeah.
No, the world is round. Damn, a conspiracy theory. That's hard.
Yeah. What about aliens? Are you believe in aliens?
I think I believe that aliens are real.
Yeah.
I think so. I think there is another life form out there.
Yeah. Okay.
100%. There it is. I think aliens are real.
Yeah. Alien. All right. I should have worn my tinfoil hat for you.
100%.
Yeah. So, all right. So you just told me a lot about your life and things like that. Okay.
Yeah.
So, the adult Dalton right now.
Yeah.
What actor would you like to play Dalton as an adult in a movie about your life?
Ooh. Actor. That's a good one. Brad Pitt's a good one.
Brad Pitt. Okay.
Pitt. Got the hair.
Yeah, he does have the locks. He does have the locks.
He does have the locks.
Yeah.
I'm gonna say Brad Pitt or Ben Affleck.
I could see Ben Affleck. Now that you just said that, I can see it.
Ben Affleck or Brad Pitt. Brad Pitt for like if there was a beginning start of my life to the hair.
Yeah.
Ben Affleck for when it gets serious.
Yeah. What about the pudgy adolescent? What would you?
Pudgy adolescent. God.
I'm trying to think of pudgy actors that.
I'm trying to too. Like it's hard. Like as a kid too.
Maybe old school Jonah Hill. Maybe old school because the curly hair.
Old school Jonah Hill. Yes, yeah. That's yes.
Yeah.
Jonah Hill as a baby, Brad Pitt going through college and all that, and then Ben Affleck as a grown up.
There you go. I like it. That sounds like a movie I'd watch. So there you go. So, all right. If you could have a superpower, what would it be?
To freeze time.
Okay. So to stop time.
To stop time.
Okay. How come?
Just because I feel like in certain moments, if I could freeze time and alter it, it'd be kind of cool. Or actually, no, that's not a good one. I'm going to switch it up now. I'm switching my answer.
All right. We're going to switch it up. Telekinesis. So you want to be able to read people's minds.
100%.
Yeah.
I would love to see what somebody's thinking. Like as a baseball player, if I could like get into a pitcher's head and like understand, I'd win. 100%.
Yeah.
Easily, no questions asked. But like for freezing time, maybe to win the lottery. That's why.
Yeah. Okay. I like those. Those are both two good ones. So all right. What is a bucket list vacation spot for you?
Ooh, bucket list. Switzerland or Italy. 100%.
Okay. Nice. And is Italy because of your Italian background?
I'm actually Puerto Rican.
Okay.
My mom's Puerto Rican.
Okay, and is your dad Italian?
No, he's Irish.
Oh, he's Irish. That's right. You said Irish and Puerto Rican.
Yeah.
That's right. Yes, that's right. Okay, yeah.
I think Italy just because of like how historical it is.
Yeah,
You can go to so many different spots and like see different things. Like that'd be sick to go to Italy. Like I would just love to go experience like how they live.
it looks
Like,
beautiful, yeah.
oh yeah, because like Europeans think Americans are like lazy. So I would love to be like, all right, so what's your world? Like, what do you do that's
Yeah.
different? And the gyms out there are crazy, absurd. Like my buddy did a study abroad in Italy, and he said the gyms are absurd. Like the dude came back like 205, and he went like 185. This is just from working out and like listening to tips and like eating healthier, how they eat.
Yeah.
I was like, wow, because he was like telling me, he's like, yeah, some guys would have an espresso and like some eggs, and that's a breakfast. And I'm like, what?
Yeah.
I couldn't do that. But I feel like if I were to go there and learn that and do that, like I would get so used to it. I'd be comfortable walking everywhere. I don't mind walking.
Yeah. That's true. You'd be in shape. Yeah. No, that's really cool. No, that's really awesome. So, any projects you got coming up? I know you said you got the police academy. Anything else that you're gonna kind of work on in the future?
I think once I come towards the future, I'd love to do like baseball camps. Find a way to like give back to my community of growing up.
Yeah.
Everyone knew me for baseball, and like figure out a way to do that. But right now, like the project is the police academy.
Yep.
It's 22 weeks basically, and that's where my focus will be.
Yeah.
So like I might live under a rock for 22 weeks, but after those 22 weeks, I hope to come out and earn my right to be a police officer, making through that academy, making a difference in this world for the community.
Well, you were able to crush a pod episode before you go into that rock, so there you go. There you go. No.
Exactly.
Where can people find you so they can get in touch with you? They can see the journey that you're going through. Where can people connect with you?
Yeah, I have Instagram. If you just look up Dalton Quinn in all capitals, because I think my username is dquinn4 with 4 N's. If you just search Dalton Quinn, it pops up right on Instagram. Dalton Quinn on Twitter and Dalton Quinn on TikTok. It all pops up. I'm always getting things sometimes. So if I don't get back to you right away, it's because I'm dealing with stuff that needs to be done like on the outside of that. So I will get back to you most of the time. If you have any questions and you need answers, you need advice, just reach out and I will get back to you.
Yeah, he is. He's a real dude. He's a real dude. He'll get back to you. Don't worry. Don't worry.
Oh yeah.
So, Dalton, thank you so much, my friend. This has been fun, and I really appreciate you taking time out of your day doing the pod. I really appreciate it, my friend.
Thank you for having me on here, man. And shout out to you. I see you doing big things and better things. Everyone go listen to his podcast. This is the real deal. This man has a lot of wisdom. This man is on the up. He's always on the up, always a great dude. This man saw me in middle school. I saw him in middle school. Yeah. This man saw me play on a basketball court. He knows what's up, and I know this man is always shooting for greatness here.
Dude, that is how we met. I forgot about that. I coached against you. Yeah. Oh my goodness.
You met me.
That is how we met. I was doing an intern coaching and he was on the opposing team and we just connected. I don't know how it happened. We just did, and many years later we have a friendship. So I appreciate you, my friend. Thank you so much for that shout out. Thank you.
Always, man. Thank you for having me on here, man.
No problem. So do not forget to like, share, and subscribe. That is going to do it for today. And as always on the Reyes Reflection Podcast, may you live, may you love, and may you thrive. I'm Oprah as a dude, and I love you all.